So will you guys please walk us through a little bit kind of the timeline and the process that the Fair Board took in starting this project off and all of the things that needed to be done to get it ready?
So when we made the decision where the building's going to go now, we had to move campers and electrical stuff out of the way before really construction could start. One of the main reasons was I think we're saving the wire out of there, and we're going to try to reuse it where we can, because it was still good wire. It wasn't all that old. At the time that decision was made, the board was operating under the premise, or the information that we had led us to believe that the project was going out to bid, construction was going to be starting soon, and just knowing how things work at the fair, typically everything tends to take 2 times longer than what you actually figure. There's interruptions and stuff like that. So we wanted to get a jump, wanted to get our stuff out of the way, so that way when construction of the building did start, we were out of their way. We weren't going to interfere with their timeline at all, because it is, the timeline at that time, they were going to start shortly after fair, and they were going to end shortly before the next fair, and we were still going to have, after the building was completed, we'd still have a lot of work to do to then get it ready for fairs. So that's why we made the decision that we did, and that's why we moved forward with tearing down the old buildings and stuff. And we did that January, February this year, and we still don't have that area ready. It's just taking along. It's just taking longer than what we anticipated. Things don't always work the way that we figured.
And it takes time for the construction people to get the bids back and to get everything lined up. If anybody has ever done a home remodel, it does not go all that smooth. Usually there's a little hiccup or something here and there. And we expected that to happen, but we didn't expect it to quite be this long, but things are going to work out in the very end.
And Wayne, this was a long talked about, a long discussed, a long, people putting their heads together and trying to figure out the best way to do this.
Right. This all started back in probably 2001 on the layout where the building is going to go, and then I believe it was June of 22, the Fair Board looked at the different pros and cons, the location where the building was going to go. And basically the more pro was the location where we've picked at this time and where it's going to go.
And Josh, the plan with this the whole way through is just to ensure having great facilities for people who are showing, people in the community who are looking to have a great building available, and really the future of the fairgrounds and everything that goes with it.
Right. We believe that there's a need for a facility like this in our area, that it can be utilized. There's still a lot of things to figure out on it, and we're actively working on them. We're working with the Improvement Association, we're working with the commissioners, we're trying to figure these things out. I can speak for myself and say that for me, this is the first time I've been involved with something quite on this scale, and I've made mistakes. I've had wrong thoughts about how things were going to work, but I'm learning through this process. We're doing the best we can, and everybody's working together to try to make this successful. It's going to take some more of that. It's going to take other people in the community to help us make this successful.
And to be successful in the long run, basically, it's going to be an economical fallout from running this facility. We've had a national group call already this past week wanting us to put a bid in for a show coming up in 2026 for them. So there's word already going out that we're going to have a nice facility, and hopefully it's great for the community, the city of Napoleon, the county, Henry County. It will bring in economic, hopefully it will bring in maybe a new restaurant, maybe a new hotel, and hopefully in the long run, this will be a great thing for our community and for future generations, not only for the 4-H kids, for the community itself.